Today we'll be talking about maize farming. Why people are not making profit from maize farming. Now, you see, let's start from plant population. If you have a land, you have 1 acre of land. There's a required standard number of plants that should be on that farm, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, on a maize farm, on a maize 1 acre land, you should have 34,000 plants. On an hectare, you should have 100,000 plants. But in most cases, when people plant, you plowed and you plant. By the time they are planting, they eventually have 5,000 to 6,000 stand of maize. When your yields start coming, when the maize grow up and they start producing for you, each maize stand will produce 1 maize cob. It is in rare cases that you see maize producing 2 cobs on a plant. So if your 5,000 is producing 1 cups of maize, that means you're having 5,000. Let's assume everything produces equally. Now imagine somebody that now has 34,000. So 34,000 plant stand with 1 cob, it will have 34,000 cups of maize. But in most cases, we cannot get it complete. Now, someone should ask me, why would you plant 34,000? Will they not compete with each other? Will they have fresh air like the old rural farmers used to say? I will explain it to you. If you do a good system, if you use a raised bed system to plant your maize, on a 1 raised bed system properly arranged at 30, you see, maize distance is supposed to be 25 centimeter. So if you plant maize on a 25 centimeter distances, on your raised bed, if you give it enough manure, enough compost, enough poultry waste, you don't need synthetic, you don't need all these other things. If you give it enough compost, on 1 raised bed, you can have 300 to 350 plants. And in an acre, we have 80 raised beds. Imagine, multiply your 350 plants by 80. You already have more than 24,000 plants on 1 acre. For them to grow equally, for them not to compete for nutrients, for them not to compete for every other thing you need, this is where irrigation comes in. This is where manuring, compost comes in. Like I've earlier said, you really need to put, at least on an acre of land, you need 30 tons of dried compost. Now let me explain how you get your 30 tons. You all know our wheelbarrow. So on a raised bed, you need 5 to 7 wheelbarrows of dried poultry manure. If you get more than that, fine. You see, when you mix poultry manure with your soil, in the soil there are microorganisms that feed on it. It will build your soil. Then your plant will be able to penetrate. The roots of the plant will be able to go in and feed well. And then the plant will come out well. It will fine. And you see, when you plant with, and then why we're saying this, don't forget you need to add water. That is where, like I said, irrigation comes in. You cannot for you to feed your plant very well, you need regular water. We can't keep waiting for rain. Okay, for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there have been no rain. Everybody will be shouting, no rain, no rain, no rain. This is not the first time. We have known before that there will be no rain. We have known before that rain is always somehow scarce in some parts or in some times. So why don't you prepare for irrigation? Instead of going for 10 acres, do just 1 acre, but put irrigation on that your 1 acre. Make sure you get the normal 30 tons manure. Do a raised bed system that will save you your space. And believe me, you will be happy at harvest, because we harvest bountifully. If you don't do this and then you plant 10 acres, on an acre you are making 1 ton. Whereas somebody that plants 1 acre is getting 5-6 tons. Somebody that plants 1 acre is getting 2-3 tons. Why you plant 10 acres and you are getting the same 3-5 tons of maize? You see, the average that rural farmers get on an hectare. Don't forget, hectare is 2.5. You have 2.5 of an acre in hectare. What they get on an hectare is 2 tons. Yeah, 2 tons. And then they work day in, day out. You see, they are still, and the next thing after that, we'll be discussing pest management and every other thing. You just stay tuned.